The Canton of Vaud is the third largest of Swiss cantons by population and fourth by size. It is located in Romandy, the French-speaking western part of the country, and borders the canton of Neuchâtel to the north, the cantons of Fribourg and Bern to the east, Valais and Lake Geneva to the south, the canton of Geneva to the southwest, and France to the west. The capital and biggest city is Lausanne, officially designated Olympic capital by the International Olympic Committee and host to many sport organizations. The canton had 725,944 inhabitants as of 2011. History. Along the lakes, Vaud was inhabited in prehistoric times. Later, the Celtic tribe of the Helvetii inhabited the area. The tribe was defeated by Caesar's troops in 58 BC, and as a consequence the Romans settled the area. The towns of Vevey and Lausanne are two of the many towns established by the Romans. In 27 BC the state of Civitas Helvetiorum was established around the capital of Aventus. There are still many Roman remains around the town today. Between the 2nd and the 4th century the area was repeatedly invaded by Alemannic tribes, and in the 5th century the Burgundians occupied the area. The Merovingian Franks later replaced the Burgundians. Their occupancy did not last long either, and in 888 the area of the Canton of Vaud was made part of the Carolingian Empire. In 1032 the Zaringans of Germany defeated the Burgundians. The Zaringans themselves were succeeded in 1218 by the Counts of Savoy. It was only under the Counts of Savoy that the area was given political unity, establishing the barony of Vaud. A part stretching from Italians to the river Seine in the north was absorbed by the canton of Fribourg. As the power of the Savoys declined at the beginning of the 15th century, the land was occupied by troops from Bern. By 1536 the area was completely annexed. Reformation was started by co-workers of John Calvin like Pierre Viret, including a famous debate at the Cathedral of Lausanne, but it was only decisively implemented when Bern put its full force behind it. The Bernese occupiers were not popular amongst the population. In 1723, Major Abraham Davil led a revolt against Bern, in protest at what he saw as the denial of political rights of the French-speaking Vaudois by the German-speaking Bernese, and was subsequently beheaded. Later, inspired by the French Revolution, the Vaudois drove out the Bernese governor in 1798 and declared the Alemannic Republic. Vaud nationalists like Frédéric Séard de la Harpe had called for French intervention in liberating the area, and French revolutionary troops moved in, taking over the whole of Switzerland itself in the process and setting up the Helvetic Republic. Under Napoleon I, it became the canton of Valais. Unrest about the abolition of feudal rights and taxes led to increased discontent, which culminated in the revolt of the Burler-Papi in spring 1802, closely followed by the Steckleikrieg that brought the end of the entire Helvetic Republic. In 1803, Vaud joined the reinstalled Swiss Confederation. In spite of Bernese attempts to reclaim Vaud, it has remained a sovereign canton ever since. In the 19th century, the Canton of Vaud was an outspoken opponent of the Sonderbund Catholic separatist movement, which led to intervention in 1847 by 99,000 Swiss federal troops under General Henry Dufour against 79,000 separatists, in what is called the Sonderbund War. Separation was prevented at the cost of very few lives. The current constitution dates from the 14th of April 2003, replacing the one from 1885. Geography. The canton stretches from Lake Neuchâtel in the north, where it borders the canton of Neuchâtel, to Lake Geneva in the south, where it borders the canton of Geneva, the French department of Haute-Savoie, and the canton of Valais. In the Jura Mountains in the west, the canton borders the French departments of Ain, Jura, and Doubs. In the east, it borders the cantons of Fribourg and Bern. The total area is 3,212 square kilometers. Along with the Canton of Bern, Vaud is one of the two cantons whose territory extends from the Jura to the Alps. Through the three distinct geographic regions of Switzerland, the areas in the southeast are mountainous, situated on the north side of the Bernese Alps. This region is commonly named the Vaud Alps. The Diablerets Massif, peaking at 3,210 meters, is the highest mountain of the canton. Other summits such as the Haute Mouvron and the Tour d'I are visible from most of the canton. The area also hosts several popular skiing destinations such as Valais, Les Diablerets and Lausanne. The central area of the canton, in contrast, consists of moraines and is hilly. There are plains along the lakes. In the north, Avenches is in an exclave of the canton surrounded by the canton of Fribourg and Lake Neuchâtel. On the other hand, there are two enclaves of the canton of Fribourg, as well as two enclaves of the canton of Geneva, that of surrounded by the canton of Vaud. The northwestern part of the canton is also mountainous, but in a more modest way, with mountains generally not above 1,500 meters. The Jura Mountains. The Valais de Dieu is one of the most popular destinations in the region and also a center of luxury mechanical Swiss watch manufacturing. Politics. Members of the National Council. Source: the Swiss Parliament. Members of the National Council, Canton of Vaud. Retrieved 15 July 2011. Members of the Council of States. Source: the Swiss Parliament. Members of the Council of States, Canton of Vaud. Retrieved 15 July 2011. Federal election results: AFDP before 2009 FDP. B** indicates that the party was not on the ballot in this canton. C part of the FDP for this election. Political subdivisions. Districts. The canton of Vaud is divided into 10 districts: Aigle with capital Aigle, Breuil-Valais with capital Pern, Gros-de Vaud with capital Les Chalons, Jura Nord Vaudois with capital Yverd and Les Bains, Lausanne with capital Lausanne, Lavaux-Oran with capital Cully, Morges with capital Morges, Nyon with capital Nyon, Rivière-Pays-d'Anhalt with capital Vevey, West Lausanne with capital Renans. Municipalities. There are 376 municipalities in the canton. Demographics. The population is French-speaking and historically was mostly Protestant, dating from the early years of the Reformation. Recently, however, this has been changing due to immigration from southern Europe. In 2000, the population was nearly evenly split between Protestants and Roman Catholics. The population of the canton was 773,407. As of 2010, the population included about 28% foreigners, including many Italians. The major population centers of the canton are Lausanne, Montreuil, Vivian, Yverd and Les Bains. The region around Nyon is often considered part of the agglomeration of Geneva. All of these are on Lake Geneva, except for Yverd, which is on Lake Neuchâtel. Economy. The capital, Lausanne, is the major city of the canton. There are light industries concentrated around it. In 1998, 71.7% of the workers worked in the tertiary sector and 20.8% in the secondary. The canton is the second largest producer of wine in Switzerland. Most of the wine produced in the canton is white, and most vineyards are located on the steep shores of Lake Geneva, such as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Lavaux Vineyard Terrace. terraces. There is agriculture in the areas away from Lake Geneva. Sugar beet is important around Albi, tobacco in Le Breuil Valley, and fruit is grown on the foot of the Jura Mountains. Cattle breeding and pasture are common in the Alps and the Jura Mountains. There is a salt mine at Bex. Tourism is important in many towns along the Lake Geneva. Major lakeside resorts include Lausanne, Montreux and Vevey. The Union Cycliste Internationale is based in Aigle, and many of its defamation lawsuits against critics have been heard in the Est-Vaudois district court of Vevey. Education. The canton is home to several renowned universities and schools: Aiglon College, Business School Lausanne, Château de Bossy, Institut Monte Rosa, College Alpin International Beau Soleil, École Cantonale d'Art de Lausanne, École Hôtelière de Lausanne, Glian Institute of Higher Education, Hotel Institut Montreux, Institut La Rose, International Institute for Management Development, Coumorn Lausanne Academy of Switzerland, Lausanne American School, Locote International School, Vaud School of Business and Engineering, Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne, Swiss Hotel Management School, the American Graduate School of Business, University of Lausanne. Culture and heritage. Taille Gros-buns are a salted bakery specialty of the region consisting of crackling encased in puff pastry. Bibliography. Laurent Fluch and Séverine André, Vienna.com. Laus. Un portrait des Vaudois aujourd'hui. Editions in folio, 2015, 368 pages.